public sector, in management, in industry and economic thinker of international repute, and very much a visionary when it comes to technology. As we know, he was a secretary in the Ministry of Industry. He's been member of the Planning Commission. He's been chairman of SAIL, of Maruti Udyog, and he's been chairman of some of our premier institutes of management around the country. Today, he has been entrusted with the very special responsibility of being chairman of the National Manufacturing Competitiveness Council. And we have been very attentively following what he has been saying in this capacity about the need for India to expand its manufacturing capacity, perhaps double it within the next few years. And his vision of India's future economic prospects, and of course his own hands-on experience, would be of a very great interest to us when we hear him in the context of, as I said, India's own aspirations for the future. And we really would like to thank Dr. Krishnamurthy for sparing his time and being with us here today. I would also like to extend a very special welcome to Sri Wajahat Habibullah, who's a friend of the IILM. We've been very lucky to have him with us on a number of occasions. He has always been regarded as a very special kind of bureaucrat, a very special kind of IAS officer, because I would like to say, without embarrassing him, of his intellectual honesty and his transparency, because in every responsibility that he has discharged in his long and very distinguished career, what has marked him out from many other IAS officers and administration officers in different administrative services has been his capacity for original thinking and his honesty and transparency. And today he is Chief Information Commissioner for the country, and it's obviously it's crucially important, it's very sensitive, it's a very difficult responsibility. But what is good is that someone like Mr. Habibullah is heading this particular task. And he will be chairing this meeting. All I would like to say is that when you have this combination of vision, efficiency and transparency, we are obviously in for a feast. So very warm welcome to both of you, Dr. Krishnamurthy and Mr. Habibullah. Now may I request Rajat Saab to please.
Good evening, friends. I'm deeply honored to be here to be chairing this session. And of course, I know that you are all eager to hear Dr. Krishnamurthy. I am myself. So let me begin by inviting him to come and deliver the second Indira Gandhi Memorial Lecture. And after this will be followed by a question and answer session. And then, of course, we will have the final concluding session. So may I invite Dr. Krishnamurthy. Thank you.
My esteemed friend Wajahat Habibullah, Ambassador Rajan, Malvika and Ms, distinguished members of the Board of Governors, this integrated Institute of Integrated Learning, ladies and gentlemen. There are several reasons for me to feel happy to be here with you this evening. The more important thing being that I am in a center of learning, center of higher learning, in the midst of so many young boys and girls. Throughout my life, what gave me the greatest satisfaction to be interacting with the youth of this country, because I honestly believe that the future of this country lies in your hands. And also to convey my appreciation to the Kulwant Rai's family for having founded this institute, having successfully imparted education to hundreds and thousands of boys and girls through these 15 or 14 years of existence, and have set high standards in terms of management education. I appreciate greatly the performance of this institution, and credit goes to the founders of this institute, the dedicated faculty, as well as the caliber of the students that came and joined this organization. The second reason for it is that the subject given to me. Normally, these days I am very hesitant to go out and talk about anything other than the subject of manufacturing. And it's an Indira Gandhi Memorial Lecture. And this is a subject which brings me to the early part of my career. And throughout my career, as initially a planner, later a technologist, and a business manager, I had a special relationship with Mrs. Indira Gandhi. And so any lecture, memorial lecture relating to Indira Gandhi, I couldn't refuse. I was especially picked up by her when she was the Prime Minister to be the chairman of BHL, a post which people of my age at that point of time was never considered at all. She took an enormous, very unusual step of picking me up at a very young age, nominated me as the chairman of BHL. This was a very unusual step in '72, and she said she was trying a new experiment. And yet another thing years later was, again, she did another unusual thing. In 1981, she wanted me to take up and develop the Maruti project. And these two were